All right, now we're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our morning note. This is GAR Capital. You're locked into the YouTube channel. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. Thanks again for stopping by today, like we do every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The morning note, answering your questions, talking markets, and looking forward to what's to come. So thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule and your day to join me. So it is 9 a.m. Before you get started, make sure to click bottom right-hand corner of your screen, the little white square, our GAR logo, and like and subscribe to our videos. Feel free to comment if you like, and turn on notifications as always so you don't miss any new videos that come out. Never know when I come up with something new. Never know. But again, any kind of requests or suggestions, feel free to comment on the comment below. All right, so today is September 18th, 2020. Today is quad witching day. A lot of people have asked me what the hell does that mean. So I'm going to go and read it from you to you, the exact definition from the Stock Traders Almanac 2020. If you don't have this book, again, it's a great book, but again, it doesn't give you everything, obviously, with all the market volatility due to COVID. It's not exactly included in this book, but it's a good almanac to have for all the dates that you need, witching and expiries, and which days are bullish, usually, which days are bearish, usually, best performing months in history, best performing weeks in history, yada, yada, yada. So, Stock Traders Almanac 2020, you can get yours on Amazon. Just go ahead and search it. If you'd like, I can go ahead and find a link for you. Just request below, and I'll go ahead and get that link for you. So, quad witching signifies the third Monday of the month on calendar pages and alerts you to extraordinary volatility due to expiration. This is the witch icon, by the way. The witch icon I'm going to show you here in a second. Expiration of equity index options and index futures contracts. Triple witching days appear in 4 different months because these are the quarters that futures contracts expire. March, June, September, December. We are in we're the third Friday of September. Obviously, today is the 18th, and today is witching day. So again, volatility is to be expected. So due to that, September triple witching day, I'm going to give you a quick piece of information here. The Dow is up 11 out of the last 15 September triple witching days. Take that information how you please. If you did see our Instagram post, I went ahead and posted yesterday a daily recap. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on it, so I'll keep doing it for you guys. We'll do the explanation of the day, a recap of the day, and I'll give you my take on everything. And I know you guys like it, so I think it's a little easier than just doing another video at the end of the day, obviously. But I'll go ahead and type up the recap of the day. So well, today with triple witching, quadruple witching, and OPEX day, what I'm expecting is that a lot of traders or a lot of institutions were pretty much bearish moving forward in September after a really bullish August and July. So I'm expecting a little bit of a short squeeze. As you're seeing here, NASDAQ futures are up. So again, I'm expecting that these people are going to unwind, these traders are going to unwind their short positions, cover their positions, what it's called. And when you cover your shorts, you have to buy. That means that you close. Remember, if you buy, you have to sell. If you're selling or short, you have to buy. So again, that's what I'm seeing here, a little bit of a boost up from the lows. We're going to go over some technical charts and what I'm expecting here and what's moving pre-market. Just want to give you that heads up. Again, it does not mean that it's going to be automatically bullish. Obviously, any kind of quad witching day, that's not exactly the case. It's not that simple. But again, volatility is to be expected. The witching hour is from 3 to 4, which is the last hour where everyone is going to scramble to cover their position as expiry looms. So just a heads up. For example, with that being said, I am in NASDAQ futures long, and we got in at 11,059. I'm looking at my screen right now, and we're almost about 80 points up on our position. So we got in 11,059 niner. So we actually got in right at this point here, and we're up about 80 points on our position. The goal on the NASDAQ trade is to actually get as high as 11,400. But again, as we creep up and we break the 11,176 level, I'll go ahead and see if we can move our stop loss to break even so we don't get a loss. So that's just a heads up. Let's go over the market, shall we? Dow futures up 10 points now, green. S&P futures up 9.75. NASDAQ futures up 65, outperforming. Russell 2000 index is relatively flat, 1538. Crude oil above that 40 level. Good to see. 41.17, but down 0.12%. Bitcoin futures above 11,000. Good to see as well, 0.68%. Gold futures catching a bit here, 0.46%. to the upside, 19.58 an ounce, and silver futures are basically flat, 27.10. When it comes to Forex, 118.46, we're basically flat, and dollar yen is down about 31 pips at 104.40 as the dollar index continues to slide down 92.89 per. That's the index, and 25.70 on the VIX, down 2.87%. Interesting enough to see. So that's where we are. A couple positions I have open with our traders. I have some Caterpillar trades, Caterpillar long trades to the upside. I have the 160s with my team, and you can take a look at the daily because I know one of our members are going to be here asking about it. So I'm gonna just get ahead of it. Look at that breakout in Caterpillar. We talked about that yesterday in the daily recap. That the equal weight S&P is outperforming the regular S&P. S&P is not equally weighted. It's a weighted index. So again, strip out tech, the actual S&P is actually outperforming. So again, that's industrials, that's banks, that's materials, that's industrials, transports are doing great. Again, you could see here the all-time high in Caterpillar, a good industrial barometer of the market. So again, I'm playing the 160s to the upside, had great volume, and I have until next week to close those out. So they're expired for next week. They are up pre-market currently. Nice to see. DKNG as well. I'm looking at some DraftKings. DraftKings is boosting up to the upside. You could see nice there, pretty much solid tapping resistance. Just need one little break. If you look at before the past week, Monday, big boost, and then pretty much just stagnant on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, big boost, pretty much stagnant, and on Thursday, big boost. So again, I'm liking this price action. All the moves technically pre-market or at the open. So I want to see exactly what we get as I have those calls moving forward. Looking at E-mini futures, big levels again, I've told you about, guys. We're basically just in range here. Not much going on. 34.21 to 3,300, 32.99. Again, you have 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. It's just bulls versus bears at this level. We don't know where we're going to get the break, but it's nice to see that we're back above the 50. Again, we could have triple bottomed, we could have triple topped. It really depends on your perspective. There really is no catalyst here to tell us one way or another. But OPEX day could signal us a little more upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we close above 33.72 today on E-mini futures, as is above the 100-day moving average. It's an expiry day. We'll see what we get. Another one here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get questions on, is Tesla. Tesla was upgraded today again. Let me go ahead and read you that. Tesla was upgraded to 515 a share by Piper Sandler after analyzing Tesla and energy and Musk compensation. Again, you could see the nice gap fill. I actually played the gap fill yesterday with our students. Very well done. I actually had the 450s yesterday, but I got out the same day, so I'm happy about that. But looking at Tesla here, 462.38 is my level. If we break that, then we can take a look at some calls. Battery day, I believe, is next week, the 22nd. So premiums may be juiced. I would not jump into any Tesla calls ahead of that. Just wait for that instead. I played Apple ahead of the iPad and iPhone announcement, thinking the phone was going to be announced, and Apple usually does have some surprises. Not this go around. They fell. Apple was at a loss. So again, we learn from our mistakes. When it comes to Tesla, just hold off a little bit and let's see what happens. That's where we're going. Also, AT&T announced there will be the Apple Watches, and I believe I think the Apple Watches SE and the new watch series will be available now. There's a gap to fill on Apple. We technically almost tapped it. We played that yesterday as well, so we did make that a little bit back. But again, there is a gap to fill there, so you could take a look at the 113s for next week. That would be probably a very prudent play. It's a $3 move to the upside. It is up at 111.37. Take a look at that. It could be something nice to get that gap fill. Speaking of gap fills, there's one other one that I was looking at. It was actually Boeing. I think Boeing actually filled it. Yep, filled the gap and is at above, and it is up pre-market slightly. Could we break above these levels? Very, very important to see. I would like to see a break of the wick to confirm the move. Obviously, the settlement of the candle would be nice, but again, 170, and we could talk about Boeing. But until then, I would just wait. Not much going on there. Looking at Facebook, I believe Facebook got some positive news due to the fact that WeChat and I think TikTok is going to be banned in the United States, the actual apps, unless there's a deal going. But WeChat will be banned in the US starting, I believe, Saturday or Sunday. So again, Facebook who owns WhatsApp, could be the beneficiary of this. And you could see here 264.59, 265 calls could be in play. Again, not a ton of movement there, but again, you can see that gap fill. We'll see if we can get that. But technically, we almost got that right before close. But again, this was a after hour candle, not a technical live pattern, not live candle. Excuse me. So 265 could be in play, maybe 270 if you want to take a look at it. I actually have puts, very small position. It was as a hedge as we broke down below. I was up 30%. I did not close. I wanted to close it as a hedge. It was about a $150, $200 position, anyways, that I got with students. So it was a complete hedge. And then if it doesn't pay off, it does pay off. We'll see. But again, very, very light risk on that trade. We'll see what happens. But my eyes right now are on DKNG and Caterpillar as of right now. So DKNG is up about 14 cents pre-market. So that's where we are. Good morning, everybody. Notifications on. Looking to play any Tesla calls, strike price. I just talked about it. I would not play Tesla here. Just be very careful. Again, same day expiry is you're just adding more risk here. So you just got to be careful moving forward. And battery days on the 22nd, premiums will be juiced. Just be careful moving forward. Quad day equals red Nasdaq. I'm afraid of Tesla. No, not necessarily. Actually, like I said, we could have a lot of people who are short that will unwind their positions. So we'll see if they do. If they sell their shorts or cover, that means the market will boost up. I think when it comes to today, I've already made my target that right around 33.72 is where we'll close on E-mini futures currently. I think that's what seems to be a pretty decent level, which is about 0.6% move to the upside for futures on the S&P. Good morning. What's up with Cat? Yep, looking at Cat, it is actually up pre-market, $1 almost. Hi, wouldn't you say we'll get next month Untitled Chapter getting closer to elections? That's really hard to predict. Again, with elections getting closer, sure. We just had a really on the expectations, depends on market movement. But keep in mind, October, we have earnings reports, so big. I was wondering if you and the team do a variety of trades, for example, sell calls, shorts. No, we don't do that because that would take margin, and not everyone has margin. So we have to be very cognizant of our subscribers. Not everyone has the capital to cover naked sell of calls or naked sell of puts. Thoughts on NIO? NIO they had a big level there at 20. I was looking at that, and it still can't break 20, which is funny. 20 is your level. If you break 20 and settle above that, then we could talk. Looking to add any Amazon at any level. You know, I love Amazon, that's for sure. We did break 29.72. I thought we'd get a continuation to the downside. A little hesitant to buy now because I think we could get a little more downside, obviously. So I'm not in a rush. I still own some. Today is Friday, so I buy my SPY-G ETF every Friday, which has Amazon in it. So I do that already, so I buy stocks every Friday anyways. Is Facebook over 260 a buy for calls? Looking at Facebook here, we're near 260. I'd actually say above 265 would be a more prudent level for you. Beyond was downgraded. How do you feel about it? Looking at Beyond, I've only played Beyond a couple of times with our students. Can't say I love it, but again, you can see this gap down. We could fill that gap, but not today. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but the downgrade does hurt the stock. Let's say if we do break above 152, you could probably target 158 for the gap fill there. You can see this gap to be filled. Again, 80% of the time it works, not every time, obviously. Just want to know the difference between E-mini futures and normal S&P. I know it's futures, but why do you look at the charts of the S&P? Just want to understand. Because the S&P at 4 p.m. stops trading. I don't see anything else. At least with futures, I get to see what Europe is doing, what Europe is buying, and it's 24 hours. To me, it's just a better barometer of the market than just the S&P cash session. And you can see the difference in price is really just about 4 points. A WKH workhorse. I haven't done any research on workhorse group, but looking at it here, it is absolutely on a tear. Very nice. I'd have to do more research on it, but again, I guess if you break 29, you can take a look at it, but I don't know much about it. Good morning, Carlos. This cat needs to break to continue the upside 160. Appreciate what you guys do. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Right here, again, 155.32. Again, obviously you have 156.25 as the high. 155.32, we should be solid to the upside. Once we get that, we're pretty much ball game. But 156.25, 157 you get, we should be able to close Caterpillar today. And again, definitely could. Again, you're seeing the ES push, E-mini futures push, a really great sign. AMD still testing the lows. Oh, I skipped a bunch of people. Sorry. Kim asks, Kim is the big Apple fan. You always ask me about Apple. Apple's one of my favorite stocks. Yes. We'll hit 130 at the end of the month. You have 2 weeks to get to 130. I don't know. That's a tough one. I know the phones will be announced on October, so you may be running out of time. So I don't think it'll hit 130. I think 120 seems more of a prudent level to look at. Morning, good thoughts on Fiverr. Say Fiverr International. And Fiverr looks pretty decent. Pretty much sideways action. I don't know what we're looking for, but I guess a break of the upside of 130, 139 would be nice. You had a nice dip yesterday with the market. So let's see if we get that continuation up. Fiverr. Yep, I got it. DKNG 55. I spoke about that first thing at the open. And you could see that each day we've gotten that push to the upside. So let's see. The beginning of the opening bell will be crucial for DKNG. Let's see if we get it. Thoughts on pins? I have not played pins, which is Pinterest. Say pins. Pins has been on the move. You could see just sideways action. I don't see anything here that's worth playing. Maybe if you break above 39.74, which is 40, that would be okay. But until then, I would not touch it. Levels of Netflix. Look at Netflix here again, just downward trend, kind of like Facebook, kind of tough to play. But there's also a gap to fill too at 485. A lot of gaps with the tech names, so keep an eye on those. You could be seeing a little move to the upside, but again, it could be just quad witching with the short covering. So nothing is done yet in regards to the tech pullback. Again, it's a lot of it's profit taking from the incredible gains for the summer. So does it mean that they're worth anything less or they're not as good? It's just that's profit taking. So I'm gonna be a little prudent here. Again, 485 would be nice, but don't expect that today. So just be very careful. It's up $3 pre-market. Shopify. Shopify, I was looking at. I did not buy it yesterday, even though it hit my level. Just being a little prudent here. And you could see a bounce off 839. There's also another gap to fill at 889. And also another, that gap already filled. 889 here. You could always target the 900s, but not for today. I mean, guys, just have to be careful with the volatility today. I'd hate to be pushing the envelope on anything. Caterpillar's not 155. Any more downside for Apple? Sure, there's always downside for every stock. But again, do I see it tapping below 100? No, I don't. I think that anything below 104 is a steal to buy. 111 here isn't a bad price to buy either. So keep an eye on those. Microsoft calls. Again, Microsoft, just like all the tech companies, have a gap to fill as well. And there's one right over here at 205.54. I have an alert at 204.32. We had it, but we kind of fell down, and now we're back above it. So keep an eye on it. Anything below 199 on Microsoft is a buy. Thoughts on Nvidia? Love Nvidia long upside, for sure. I do own it as well. And look at Nvidia. It's basically just kind of sideways action. You get a lot of volatility here. A lot of good news from Nvidia, but again, it is moving with tech. So you can see just basically a range. Nothing yet until you break above 531. Unless you break 531, you don't do anything here. You sit on your hands. Good morning. Good morning. Thoughts on Walmart for next week? 140 call. Thoughts on? I don't see anything here that would tell me want to get into the 140s. To be honest with you, again, if anything, I'm seeing a downward slope. I'm bullish on the name long term, sure, but again, nothing here to tell me that it's going to get to 140. You'd have to break out a couple levels like 138 before you do anything. And it's not exactly a big spiker when it comes to volume. So be very careful on Walmart. What's my outlook for next week? I'd have to take a look. Let's get ahead of this week first before we get out of next week, because I want to see the close. I'll give us the recap, obviously, on Instagram. And then I'll give you guys the Forex Factory lineup and what to expect on Saturday. So I try to look at one day at a time. NKLA long puts. NKLA, let's see it. NKLA, I'm not a fan of the stock, but again, people say, oh, it's a green line to short. Not exactly. Again, you can see a nice pop there, even green pre-market. It's just a name I would want to stay away from, guys. I don't want to touch Nikola. If you really want to play the EV sector, stick with Tesla. You know what you're getting with Tesla. Tesla with the price upgrade and battery day, 500 by next week. Definitely could happen. Does it mean you should buy calls on Tesla? Again, your premiums are going to be very expensive. If you wanted to do a lotto and you're just crazy about it and you're like, I have to do something, you got to go really out of the money, like 600, depending on the volume. Thoughts on Kodak? Kodak, I'm not a fan of all the news that's going on. but again, you could see this pop, a nice return back to the upside from the, I believe the lawyers were saying there was no issue with the options, but remember, we were as high as $60. Now we're at $10. I would just say stay away from it, honestly. It's just going to be too wild. And workhorse calls. I talked about workhorse already. There's really, I don't know much about their volume. I don't know much about their company. But if you're looking at just charts, again, you could see a continuation, nicely done. But I got to have to see the volume on those calls as we go along. And one more question, Apple 25th 115 calls. That's next week. I don't know what your catalyst is going to be there, but I guess if you're playing the gap fill, that would probably be decent. I would say 112.50 would be your best bet. Be a little pricier, but it'll be a little more prudent. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Friday. Happy Witching Day. We'll catch you for Monday's morning note. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. And enjoy your weekend, guys. Stay safe. And we'll catch you guys later. Have a good one, guys. Make sure to subscribe to our videos. Really do appreciate it. Bottom right-hand corner. Don't forget. We'll talk to you guys soon.